and downloading details at KBLA1580.com about our climate justice campaign, which is now in full effect.
The City of Compton is pleased to partner with KBLA Talk 1580 to celebrate Earth Day 2024 as we serve, share, and help our city shine.
And KBLA Talk 1580 is just as excited to join the City of Compton as we broadcast live and bring our KBLA delegation with us to help clean and beautify our community, and you are invited to join us.
Come meet us on Saturday, April the 20th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at 212 West Cypress Street in Compton as we fan out to clean up our city.
The first 50 KBLA listeners to hit our website at KBLA1580.com will receive a free KBLA tee when you join us on Saturday morning, April 20th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at 212 West Cypress Street in Compton. Now, no show, no shirt, but sign up at KBLA1580.com right now to help us clean up Compton as part of Earth Day 2024.
We will see you on Saturday, April the 20th, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at 212 West Cypress Street in the City of Compton to do our part for Earth Day 2024.
We are KBLA Talk 1580, caring about the climate, caring about the community, cleaning up Compton.
KBLA Talk 1580. You're breaking up. Can't hear you. Call me now, 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580. Get on this microphone and speak your mind. It is a Wealth Building Wednesday, and I want to take this moment to remind you, from me to you, that the Dream for All program is open right now. It is not too late to apply. This is down payment money and closing costs funding for you. It is a loan, but you don't have to pay it back until you sell the house, which is amazing. You don't have to make payments. You don't have to do anything until you sell the house. Now, this program opened up April 3rd, and last time ran out of money very quickly, but we're still within the window of opportunity when you can apply. So if you're going to do it, you should do it now. calhfa.ca.gov/dream, or just Google California Dream for All program. California Dream for All, and the dream they're talking about is owning a house. When you can put 20% down to buy a house, it's going to result in a lower monthly payment, right? Most people, one of the barriers for us buying homes is the fact that saving up 20% to put down on a house takes time. Maybe some folks are not in a position to do it ever because of, the amount of money that they have to spend from their earnings just to cover bills. So this is a great opportunity. For some reason, we as Black people tend to not take advantage of these opportunities, and then want to be upset that other people are taking advantage of these opportunities, and that's why I'm going to keep saying it. This is probably the last week I'll say it, and this Wealth Building Wednesday is a time that I'm going to remind you of this because it's part of wealth building. One of the biggest ways that we Black people, we BIPOC people, we people who do not come from wealth, right? And you may raise an eyebrow when you hear me say that because you've heard of my parents. You've heard of Amiri Baraka, Leroy Jones. You've heard of Diane DiPrima. Yeah, well, they're poets. Poet is not a big salary job, right? I mean, I used to joke around about lifestyles of the poor and famous. They're well-known. They're activists. They're accomplished. They're amazing. They did so much for the culture and for society, but they never had no money. So if you come from a background of less affluence and you don't have that person paying for your college or starting you out with a chunk of money that you could build upon, or like Donald Trump getting $250,000 a month when you were a baby. I think it was like 2 or 3 he started getting that salary. Uh, yeah, and then started his business with a small loan of $1 million from his dad. If you're not coming from that kind of deep pockets, it can be hard to get that down payment. And this is one of those leg up moments, where we talk about when we speak on reparations and the fact that, for example, Black Americans did not get those GI Bill loans, even though Black soldiers fought in World War II. When they came back, they didn't receive the assistance to buy homes. Not only did we not receive the assistance, we had homes taken, properties stolen through eminent domain, racially motivated eminent domain, through the bamboozling. We were locked out by housing covenants and the like. So this is one of those moments where there's money on the table and we need to go get it. If you are a first-time home buyer, or you're thinking about buying a home and you never had one, this is a great time. California Dream for All program. Let's go get that wealth. Let's go get these opportunities. I also want to point out something I just discovered, which is the Made in California program. These are grants that come out of the Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development. So you can go to grants.ca.gov and you'll get to a portal which connects you to the various grants that are put forth by the state of California, the Governor's Office. There is an upcoming deadline for this round of applications, which is the 22nd of April, 4/22/24 at 11:59 p.m. And there's a couple of categories: disadvantaged communities, housing community, and economic development. This is for organizations so that you can help provide, this particular one is to help provide marketing and engagement services to support awareness of the Made in California label, which is obviously supporting California manufacturing businesses. But this grants portal will have different opportunities to get money given to you or your business on a regular basis. So grants.ca.gov, write it down, visit it, and let's see how we can take advantage of these programs that many times we do not get access to, or we rule ourselves out. This is something I find so frustrating, that we, as Black people, and many times as small businesses, we rule ourselves out, meaning we just decide we won't qualify, that we will not get these funds, and we don't apply. Let them rule you out. Don't rule yourself out. Okay. So it looks like the DJT, Stormy Daniels case, the campaign finance case, I'm tempted to call it something else, but I'm going to pretend my mom is in the room. It's moving forward. We have some jurors. Last time I checked, we had 7 that were chosen on Tuesday. From what I was reading about these jurors, was a little bit concerned because they seem very Trumpy. But after disqualifying at least 70 people, 7 have been chosen. One of the interesting things that I found is that lawyers, Trump's lawyers in particular, but prosecutors as well, digging through jurors' social media accounts, prospective jurors. Let's see what you've posted. One guy who wanted to be on the jury, who said he could be objective, had posted something saying how Trump was an idiot, and was disqualified on that basis. And it's just a reminder, because whether you're applying for a job, an apartment, or jury duty, what you've posted on social media could disqualify you or ingratiate you. And this is true for educational institutions too. And I think we forget, but certainly this Trump jury, they'll never put me on a Trump jury. The number of things I've posted about that man is why I may have to flee should he be reelected. But they did find 5 people. And the judge, Judge Juan Merchan, already got on Trump's case about trying to intimidate a potential juror. And he's warning Trump that he's not going to put up with this stuff. Will be interesting to see, though, because the former president routinely ignores regular old decorum, manners, normalcy when it comes to how we act in court and what we do with witnesses, judges, juries, election workers. And so what will the judge do if Trump continues to ignore him and do whatever he wants? It's almost like the former president is daring the judge to sanction him in any way. So this is going to be a game of chicken. Meanwhile, Trump is finding out, apparently, when you're a criminal defendant on trial, I've never had that experience myself, but apparently you have to show up to court every day. You can't just show up when you want to and let your lawyers come. You have to be there every day. So Trump's already straining against this. You know, he's an alleged billionaire who's used to doing what he wants to do. So he asked the judge, could he go to his son Barron's high school graduation? And the answer was, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe not. It's coming up May 17th. And there were some conservatives grousing about that on X yesterday. But the fact is, you're a criminal defendant. It's up to the judge. Do you think that regular criminal defendants who are not the former president of the United States can just say, hey, judge, I got a graduation. Can I take Wednesdays off, which was also something he requested because apparently the judge's courtroom is typically dark on Wednesday. And the judge said, not if the jury is sitting. So, again, you know, this is a whole new world. It's Aladdin time for Trump, and not in a good way. You are a criminal defendant. He wanted to take Wednesdays to go campaigning because sitting in a criminal courtroom is not probably the best way to raise campaign money. Who knows? Maybe with Trump it is. He has managed to glorify his criminality and turn it into an asset with his hardcore base. But from what I understand, they've been squeezing that base so much to where the money's running a little thin, and he is going to have to hit the road and, put the squeeze on or find some new suckers. And he can't do that if he's sitting in a New York courthouse. So this is historical, unprecedented and unprecedented that we've never had a former president of the United States as a criminal defendant. And this could be the first of many such matters. Love to hear from you on this or whatever else is on your mind. 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Febreze. So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la. If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details. KBLA Talk 1580 is the fastest growing talk radio station in Southern California, home to 50,000 watts and an audience reach of 12 million listeners. KBLA Talk 1580 is a pioneer for Black audio content, including our groundbreaking $2 million climate justice campaign and the most loyal, influential audience. According to an independent research study by the polling firm Aviterus, for the second consecutive year, KBLA Talk 1580 is the most trustworthy, reliable, and credible news source for Black audiences and beyond in Southern California. Let KBLA Talk 1580 power your advertising dollars. Our omni-channel custom marketing solutions are specifically tailored to connect with your ideal target audience. We leverage audio, podcasts, streaming, digital, social media, and local activations to get your message out to the Black community. Get in touch with our advertising team today at advertising@KBLA1580.com. That's advertising@KBLA1580.com. KBLA 1580. We've got you, Black.
We used to argue about whose turn it was to clean the gutters, but then I had leaf filter gutter protection installed.
Wait, I told you Leaf Filter had free inspections and estimates and a lifetime guarantee.
Meaning we never have to argue about whose turn it is to clean the gutters again.
But I visited leaffilter.com/beacon first.
No, I did.
It doesn't matter who. Visit leaffilter.com/beacon to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
All right, so the U.S. Supreme Court is, I remember my father, the late and amazing Amiri Baraka, a.k.a. Leroy Jones, used to call them the Extreme Court. And this was before Amy Phony Barrett, Neil Gorsuch, and Brett Kavanaugh. And what we are seeing now is just stunning. I don't think that I'm naive. I never had a lot of faith and trust in conservatives, especially those arch conservatives that and fascists that like to flock around the former president, that he enables and empowers and will do so again to an even greater degree should he be reelected. But this Supreme Court, though, I feel like they are like judicial suicide bombers. And what I mean by that is they don't even care about their own legacy. They're willing to torch their legitimacy, the legitimacy of the entire court, to give advantages to the former president and to enact their activist and craven right-wing agenda. Even to the point, you remember, they lied to us during their, hearings where they said, their congressional hearings were, oh yeah, Roe is settled law. We accept that. Roe v. Wade, that's the law of the land. A woman has a right to choose. It's already the law of the land. And then the first opportunity they get, they overturn that, right? Well, they are signaling that they have just gotten started. Oh, the worst is yet to come. And two examples of that we saw yesterday. The Supreme Court justices heard arguments about obstruction and whether or not it can be used to prosecute not only the January 6th attacks, that this is going to, the people who took place in that attempted coup, but also this is going to go ahead and probably impact Donald Trump. The case is called Fisher versus the United States, and it's this federal law which says anyone who obstructs, influences, or impedes any official proceeding or attempts to do so is guilty of a serious felony carrying up to 20 years in prison. Well, it looks like the justices are leaning towards leniency, meaning that they're going to say this only applies to people in very specific cases, which could let a bunch of these January 6 folks off the hook for the charges relating to what they tried to do, which is obstruct and impede the vote, the certification of the vote for the President of the United States. And this would let a bunch of January 6 folks off the hook and could help Donald Trump. And this is the usual hypocrisy. If again, do you think that if a climate justice organizer tried to shut down Congress or shut down the Supreme Court, they would have this charitable interpretation? Or a Black Lives Matter protester or a raise the minimum wage demonstrator? No, they would not. But here, the justices seem to be leaning towards a get out of jail free card for the attempted coup participants. The other thing is that there's a case called McKesson versus Doe, where the states of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Texas have pretty much outlawed mass protests by saying that if you're an organizer of a mass protest and any person attending that protest, even a counter-protester, which means even a agent provocateur, an infiltrator, a counter-protester. We saw this a lot in 2020. Remember, you had all of these MAGA people going and pretending to be so-called Antifa and lighting stores on fire and doing violent things and then trying to blame that on Black Lives Matter. Well, if this stands would mean that if a single person that attends your mass protest does something illegal, you, the organizer, are criminally and financially liable for that. So that's meant to be a way of shutting down mass protests, peaceful or otherwise. If anyone at your protest does anything illegal and you live in Louisiana, Mississippi, or Texas, you're responsible for that. You could be bankrupted. You'd have your house taken. And what the Supreme Court has done is said they're not going to hear the case, which means the lower court ruling supporting this ridiculous and dumb idea stands, at least for those states, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Texas. It means that the real world impact is that in the southern United States, it becomes basically illegal to protest. And to me, it's giving supervillain. It's just, to me, amazing. I guess I'm chronologically gifted enough to remember and expect a time, and really most of us are, because it's only been, 10 years, maybe less, since the time when people in Congress, members of the Supreme Court, felt that they needed to at least pretend to be dignified, fair, follow the rules, be unbiased. Those days are no more. And I'm going to trace the beginning of the end to the emergence of the Tea Party in America, but really it's the Obama presidency, the "you lie," right? He's giving a State of the Union address, and a member of Congress yells at the president during that statement. Now, we know that it was Obama's blackness that allowed this sort of bubble of dignity to be pierced, right? Normally, yelling at a president in a State of the Union address would make you an outcast in Congress, a social reject. But no, it didn't happen. That pierced the bubble of dignity, the bubble of propriety and tradition. And then when he who shall not be named, the 45th president, came to office, that leveled up the crassness, right? The boorishness, the throwing away of tradition in a bad way, to where you could end up at the point we are now, when a former president is threatening and intimidating potential jurors in their own felony trial, talking about judges, disparaging them, and activating their MAGA would-be assassins to threaten, stalk, and harass judges, election workers. So now we're at a point where what we used to consider norms, political norms, are gone. And the Supreme Court is part of that. The fact that they would say, oh yeah, we're going to hear this case of whether or not a president has absolute immunity, but we're going to just, there's no rush, even though we are months away from a presidential election and one of our leading candidates for a major party is facing criminal charges that could impact the entire history of the country. No rush. We'll get to it when we get to it. That is what I'm talking about. They are on some super villain-ish. We don't care about our legacy. We don't care if we're seen as blatantly biased, craven partisans who give two craps about the future of this nation and this republic and its representative democracy. They do not care. That means it's time for change. Call me now if you want. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to gear with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump traveled to the town of Leland, Mississippi to demand that the police department release a dashcam video showing a patrol vehicle fatally striking a 17-year-old boy. The incident happened March 21st. According to family members, Kadarius Smith, who is African American, was attempting to run away from police on foot when an officer allegedly ran him over with an SUV, leaving tire marks on his back. With Weekend 1 already in the books, the music festival Coachella in California is the most popular festival in the U.S. Online gambling company Betway analyzed the most popular festivals based on search volumes in the past 12 months. Coachella came out on top with over 3 million searches in the past year. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
True Green is the easiest and most affordable way to get a beautiful lawn. All you have to do is water and mow. And to top it off, when you sign up for an annual plan by April 20th, you get one application free. Call or visit truegreen.com today. Restrictions apply.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers answered the challenge last night in New Orleans and got out of the play-in round. They held on for a 4-point win to clinch the 7th seed in the Western Conference playoffs. The win set up a first-round matchup with the defending champion Denver Nuggets. Game 1 is Saturday in Denver. LeBron led the Lakers with 23 points, 9 assists, and 9 rebounds. The Lakers really helped themselves by making 26 of 29 free throws. New Orleans will host Sacramento Friday night. The winner gets the 8th seed in the West. Sacramento beat Golden State last night. We may have seen the end of an era with Golden State's early elimination. Steph Curry is 36, and Klay Thompson is a free agent. Thompson was 0 for 10 from the floor in perhaps his last game with Golden State. Thompson, Curry, and Draymond Green won 420 games together and 4 NBA championships. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile. And the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time. There's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Tips to help improve your credit score in 2024. Establishing credit is an important key to achieving financial health, but building a credit history from scratch can feel challenging since you need credit to build credit. First, what does it mean to build credit? All consumers have a score between 300 and 850. You want your score to be as high as possible as lenders look at your credit score to make loan and credit decisions. A good credit score shows you have a track record of borrowing money responsibly. Remember, it's never too late to build or rebuild your credit. This segment is sponsored by JP Morgan Chase & Company.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
We knew you'd stick around. This is LA's home for progressive talk radio. Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580.
We welcome you back indeed. 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. That's the number if you've got something to say. Paul reminding me that Justice Clarence Thomas refused to recuse himself, even though his wife, Ginny Thomas, was, in fact, one of the attempted coup perpetrators, organizers, and apologists. And that is a great point. He will not recuse himself because they're blatantly corrupt. I mean, to me, the things that have come out, not just about Clarence Thomas, also others on the court, Roberts, Alito, is that they have taken lots and lots of bribes from billionaires who had business before the court. Vacations, RVs, private jet rides. If that came out about me, I would step down from embarrassment. Of course, nobody's offering a radio talk host private jet rides, but that is not the point. It shows you have zero shame, no moral compass. and you think the rules don't apply to you. Just like Trump, seems to be a MAGA malady. The rules don't apply to me. Clarence Thomas, perfect example. Beneficiary of affirmative action, who was leading the charge to get rid of it. Yeah, I got mine. Forget all y'all. All the rest of y'all in words. Get in where you fit in. It's just stunning. And that's why I say it's time for change. I believe we need to get a couple more, 2, 3 more justices. And we need term limits. 12 years is the most they should be doing. That's 2 presidential terms plus 4 years. That means the impact of that president who appointed you can resonate for an additional 4 years after they leave office. That's enough. That's enough. We don't need lifetime appointments. We're not a monarchy. Why did the Supreme Court get to be little monarchs, little emperors, with no checks and balances on them, no code of ethics that they're bound to adhere to? Why? It doesn't make sense. It's time for change. They need accountability, and I am hoping that the brazen way that they are acting to protect the former president, take away the rights of women, protesters, and the list goes on. I am hoping that those blatantly biased and non-judgy, judge-like judicial moves will prompt the undermining of their legitimacy to the point where Congress will finally get off their butts and enact some things. Congress could expand the number of justices tomorrow if they wanted to. And they could also enforce a code of ethics. Apparently, term limits would require a constitutional amendment. But that could happen too. Dwight from Compton, you have the floor. Good morning. Hey, Dwight, what's up?
Hey, shout out to Miles, Tavis, and everyone at this great station. Dominique, you are so right about this Supreme Court. They're trying to let Donald Trump off the hook because they said this a law that they're applying to the January 6th attack has never been applied before because we never had a president try to overthrow the country before. And in the case of 9/11, we never had airplanes flying to the Twin Towers before. So should we have let bin Laden off the hook because he planned the 9/11 attack? Some things happen for the first time, and that's when you address them. And as far as protests, Dominique, the Boston Tea Party was a protest against England owning America. I mean, this country was founded on a protest, the Revolutionary War. And Dr. King had to march across the Edmund Pettus Bridge just for voting rights for black people. So a protest is a part of the Constitution, your First Amendment rights to speak out on things that you disagree with. You know what? These states, Louisiana, Texas, Mississippi, the NFL, the Major League Baseball, and the NBA should have no major events like the Super Bowl, things like that, in any of these states like they did before when they first protest George Floyd, the George Floyd killing. They pulled the NBA out of certain states. So we should, these states here, if they're going to attack the American people, we should attack them by withdrawing our funds and our money and financing. I mean, Dominique, this is, some things happen for the first time. And that's when you address that problem.
Yep. I mean, it's just like all of the issues relating to AI, right? It's new.
Yeah.
And so it has to be dealt with. It's also true that I feel like the hypocrisy of our current Supreme Court is so just, they don't care. They do not care. So it doesn't matter it doesn't matter what we say or do. And to me, that's the point where the Congress has to step in.
Yeah, and Trump's plan is to lie, deny, and delay. Lie, deny, and delay. It's so obvious that they actually say we have three systems of justice. One for us poor people, the 99% of the people, one for the rich, and then Trump has his own by himself. I mean, how can you attack your government and then run for presidency That's like somebody steals from your house and you invite them over to watch your house for the weekend. I mean, they already have stolen things out of your house. Now you're going to give them the keys and tell, hey, okay, yeah, watch my house for the weekend. Dominique, you are so right. I mean, it's so obvious. All we could do is everyone 18 and older, please register to vote at vote.gov. And you can check your voting status also, because their plan is to purge as many voters off as they can, pack all the black voters into one little district, and then they said they're gonna delay the verification of the election, even until the new people take over to try to throw it over to the states. And ironically, out of the 50 states, most of those states are controlled by the Republicans, which is sad to say. You know, if it goes back to the states get to pick who, you know, if it's a tie, who the president. That's what got when they overturned slavery. That's how the trying to correct the slaves. They pulled all the federal troops out of the South, and then the white supremacists just took over again, doing Reconstruction. So they're trying to do the same thing. And
they've been in charge ever since.
Yep.
With a recent surge.
Stepped off the slave ships in 1619 down. So it looked like this is going to be an ongoing fight. So each generation just pick up the baton and keep running down the track. You know, it looks like there's no finish line. We just keep running the race. But Dominique, I love KBLA. Thank you so much for the information you give us, and thank you for the great guests you have. And you know, thank you for fighting the Republicans when you invite them on your show, because we're gonna hear more lies. And like I said, Trump's plan is to lie, deny, and delay. So
Yep.
Let's keep fighting, Dominique. And I enjoy you and your show. And KBLA, thank you so much for all you do.
Thank you, Dwight. Dwight from Compton is one of our day ones. How is, I was thinking, because Clarence Thomas didn't show up for work the day before, that maybe he would keep his butt wherever he was, in his RV, on somebody's yacht. I don't know. But no, he didn't. How does this guy get to ask questions about January 6th when his wife was one of the masterminds? But he does. He gets to sit up there and try to make it seem like it was, just another day at the Capitol. Again, the hypocrisy. Now they don't even try to hide it. They're just all the way blatant. Let's go to Paul, calling us from LA. Good morning.
Good morning, Dominique. How are you doing today?
I'm good. What's on your mind?
I want to discuss, I think this is a very good and important conversation that you're discussing today with the judicial branch, because sometimes we focus so much on just the legislative, the not just the legislative, but the executive, who obviously the president is, that we're missing where a lot of these far-right conservatives are attacking through the judicial branch. And the reason why, in my opinion, but I believe this is why, they back a Donald Trump is because that man got them those 3 Supreme Court justices within a 4-year time frame, and essentially unbalanced the courts. And on top of that, if you pay attention, that when he was in office, he actually nominated 153 judges. But check this out. Of the 153 judges, 131 were white. 5 were black, 6 were Hispanic, and 10 were Asian. Now compare that to Joe Biden. Within the 4 years that Biden has been in office right now, he's actually nominated 145 judges, but of the 145, only 49 are white, 44 are black, 22 are Hispanic, and 17 are Asian. One presidency is electing what this country is diversity, where another is appointing a lot of far-right judges, federal judges, and putting them on the benches that are essentially, like you have the situation in Arizona, taking us backwards. And I really wish there was more of an emphasis put on, you're not just voting for the top of the ticket. You're voting for judges also, confirming judges, and you're also voting for how money is allocated within your community. And we really need to harp on that because these crazies are going to show up to the polls. So when I hear a lot of people say, well, I just don't vote, no, you are voting. You're voting for these people taking us backwards in life.
Yeah, I think that's right. And I do think that that's almost like a devil's bargain that a lot of these evangelicals even and conservatives have made, is that we are going to vote for Trump. We're going to line up behind Trump, even though he got 3 baby mamas and, you know, a porn star in the woodshed and a Playboy playmate around the corner and, you know, has ripped people off, you know, contractors and small business people for years and on and on. All of these things that are very unethical and one would think unchristian, because the trade-off was we get Supreme Court justices. We get to overturn Roe v. Wade. We get, as you said, dozens of judges across the country. And those judges, aside from being white, and many of them highly unqualified, they're also young. So they're going to be on the bench for a long time. You know, I'd love to keep talking with you if you want to stay with me. 800-920-1580. That's the number Paul called, and you're invited to do the same. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
America has an important decision to make in 2024. Who will lead the nation in these stressful yet monumental times? Business leader and Lakers co-owner Johnny Buss has a plan for America. Join us on Thursday, April 8th at 11 a.m. as Johnny Buss shares a new path forward for America and announces his independent candidacy for President of the United States. Thursday, April 18th, 11 a.m. on Kareem Court, just near the fabulous Forum. Listen to the vision, witness history. Register today at bus2024.com. America finally has the right choice. Paid for by Bus for America 2024.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone, and should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month. If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your Senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
There are many healthcare organizations serving our community. Not all are dedicated to community partnerships that educate, build trust, inspire hope, and improve outcomes. Providence has a robust community outreach program and has dedicated $50 million over the next 5 years to support organizations addressing health disparities in local communities of color. Examples of this commitment include the Biddy Mason Community Wellness Center on the First AME campus, providing medical screenings, mental health therapy, nutrition, and culturally sensitive holistic classes. The Black Mamas Glowing Peer Support Group that focuses on maternal mental health, birth planning, and social support. Providence is committed to building trusted partnerships with community organizations to better understand and dismantle structural, racial, and cultural barriers to better health. During Minority Health Month, Providence is sponsoring Health for a Better World. Informative conversations with Providence health professionals on urban family focus every Saturday in April at 7 a.m. To find a Providence Health System facility near you, log on to providence.org.
Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win. Sometimes we try to fit it all in. Sometimes we don't know what's in store. Sometimes we find what we're looking for. Sometimes we're rolling easy and free. Sometimes 1 and 1 makes 3. So much to love along this ride. That's why Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Right now, we're back to me and Paul. Great point. Always good to talk with you, Paul called 800-920-1580, and now Dee has done the same. Dee from Long Beach, good morning.
Morning, Dominique. How do you feel?
I feel good, like James Brown. How do you feel?
Like I knew I would. I want to talk about natural persons, contracts of adhesion, and Good Samaritan laws. So the Constitution has businesses and people as persons, either natural or non-natural. Second, you have contracts of adhesion. These are contracts you have to sign to get the good or service, but you don't read.
Right.
But you're compelled to do so.
Mm-hmm.
And third, Good Samaritan
terms
laws
of service or
California.
whatever that many of us just click okay, even though we didn't read it.
Right. So how can you agree to something you don't understand? And there's no alternative to that.
That's an interesting point. I mean, are you saying that we could, on some level, claim duress or something similar because we are signing all these things that we don't read? I remember one time when my child was about, I want to say like 8 years old. I have a reader, a kid that reads a lot. And I found him sitting in his room reading terms of service, trying to really just almost in tears because he couldn't understand it, but he wanted to play the game. But you had to, had to say, I agree to these terms. Yeah.
They could at least provide a summary, an unbiased summary.
Right. Kind of like they do on ballots.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that difficult.
Yeah, that's a great point. Or, some kind of link where you could go to a YouTube channel and someone explains it to you or.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We are agreeing to things that we don't agree to.
That we don't even know what we're agreeing to. I've done it many times. I'm not going to lie. Who has time to sit there and read? And, we may have given up all kinds of things. There are people that argue, and I haven't talked to an attorney about this, but that by agreeing to the terms of service of Facebook, Instagram, X, they now own all your content.
Yes. And you can't put that genie back in the bottle. I don't feel you can.
Right, meaning you can't, once you gave them the permission, they already have it. And I feel like every day we're also reading about these cyber breaches, 1 million people there, 5 million people here, your data was compromised, from Home Depot to the bank. So that's why I say in a way it's like we're all out standing naked on La Brea at this point because our data is out there. And I don't know how you stop it. Other than reading terms of service, which most of us are not going to do, you could say, okay,
we don't read food labels either. We don't read food labels either.
But yeah, I do.
Okay.
I don't read terms of service. In fact, my former husband said to me one time, okay, we're going to the store, but no reading labels. Because my grocery trips
can. Or store brand? Do you buy brand names or store brands?
I buy ingredients.
You buy ingredients? Okay.
Yeah, I buy ingredients.
Okay.
If it's organic, if it doesn't have things that are carcinogenic, if it's less processed, I'm more likely to buy it.
So that leaves basically zero.
Yeah, it means you got to shop more, on the outside of the store, less in the middle. You got to shop where, more in the produce section. And you got to read labels.
Finally, I want to talk about Good Samaritan laws in the state of California. If you stop to assist someone who is in distress, out of the goodness of your heart, with what is it? If you try to aid someone and you do something wrong because you're not a doctor, you can get sued.
Okay, that's encouraging.
Why aren't we advancing Good Samaritans? Why are we advancing that people not get involved?
So if I'm trying to do CPR on you and I break a bone on you,
yes, ma'am.
Then I'm liable for that. financially.
You are.
So
you are in the state
you're
of
sharing
California.
this because you don't want us to help each other, because that sure sounds like a problem.
No, I want us to help each other, but I want us to not incur a legal liability in so doing. I mean, if you're the first on the scene and you see a car in flames, you might not go there. But, I mean, if you are a true Good Samaritan, you would. But you don't need to be penalized.
I mean, we hail these folks in the media. We say, oh, this young man, and it seems like it's always a young black man swimming out somewhere to save someone, diving into a car and bringing them out of flames. I mean, we do. Shoot, I know Miles Lowe saved somebody's life one time on the road, as speaking of young black men. But I never thought about that in terms of the potential legal liability.
Yeah.
Well.
And you know, at least some of my professors left the profession of law, and they decided to teach instead because they said it wasn't worth it in California.
You know what? I don't know if I buy that, but I guess it depends what kind of law you're practicing. But I will say this. I'm thinking about what you said, Dee, which I've never actually thought about. I think I would still try to save a person because I'd rather face legal liability than spiritual liability.
Right.
Or moral failings.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Yes.
I'm going to be honest with you. I would think about it very carefully.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just like when you go up against someone from another group, you figure out who has the most political power in that moment in time. You know, if someone is,
But that time you're spending thinking about it, that person can die. The flames engulf them, the heart attack takes them over, the shark, bites them, they wash out to sea. I mean, most of the time when it's a Good Samaritan action, it's that immediate response that saves lives.
Right.
So think about it in advance.
A natural person can be a Good Samaritan. Can a non-natural person be a Good Samaritan?
I'm going to say no to that, Dee, but I'll give it some thought. Thank you for calling. It's time for news, traffic, and sports. Then we'll be talking with Clayton Page Aldern, The Weight of Nature, How Changing Climate Changes Our Brains. KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump traveled to the town of Leland, Mississippi to demand that the police department release a dashcam video showing a patrol vehicle fatally striking a 17-year-old boy. The incident happened March 21st. According to family members, Kadarius Smith, who is African-American, was attempting to run away from police on foot when an officer allegedly ran him over with an SUV, leaving tire marks on his back. With Weekend 1 already in the books, the music festival Coachella in California is the most popular festival in the U.S. Online gambling company Betway analyzed the most popular festivals based on search volumes in the past 12 months. Coachella came out on top with over 3 million searches in the past year. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
True Green is the easiest and most affordable way to get a beautiful lawn. All you have to do is water and mow. And to top it off, when you sign up for an annual plan by April 20th, you get one application free. Call or visit truegreen.com today. Restrictions apply.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Dell Technologies and Intel are pushing what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to now.
Is this the This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
With the defending champion Denver Nuggets, Game 1 is Saturday in Denver. LeBron led the Lakers with 23 points, 9 assists, and 9 rebounds. The Lakers really helped themselves by